Hey guys, so it's Friday night and it's 12:30 at night on the 2nd of February in 2024. And tonight I'm going to do you a nightlife tour and I'm going to tell you about the best nightlife, the best bars and the best nightclubs, the best zones to go out for a proper good party here. I'm going to tell you the best bars and pubs for all different types of tastes as well. And I'm going to show you right around this fantastic city. I reckon Krakow is one of the best cities in Europe for nightlife, and I definitely recommend you a party holiday here in Krakow. So lots of groups and guys and girls come over here. They're on hen parties, they're on stag parties, birthday parties are coming over, you've got couples coming over, you've got groups of lads coming on over as well to hit all the bars and the clubs for the nightlife. On average, you pay about £3 or £4 for a pint of beer here in Krakow now. The prices have gone up in the last 2 years. After the COVID, all the prices shot up here, so it's about £3 or £4 for a beer now in a normal Polish pub. If you're going into the English pubs or the Irish pubs, you can pay anything, maybe £6, £7 for a beer. It can be very expensive in the Irish or English pubs. But if you want a really good Irish pub here, where the prices are a bit more reasonable, maybe £4, maybe £5 for a pint of beer, I recommend you a pub called Pod Papagami. That's the best Irish pub in town. There is another Irish pub called Duffy's Irish Pub, but the Pod Papagami is straight ahead down here, and you just turn off, this is Florianska Street, and you just turn off to the right side, down the next on the right, and that's where you'll find the Pod Papagami. It's the best Irish pub in town. There's also some good English pubs here, like the Bulldog, and my favourite English pub is the English Football Club. That's a really, really good pub. They've got 4 rooms. It's not just for football. They've got a lovely garden terrace at the back. It's like in a cave under the ground. Lovely decoration. Staff are really, really friendly. And they've got all the football games on. They've got the darts on, the rugby. They've got the whole lot on. Remember the name English Football Club if you want an English pub where you're going to watch all the live sports events. So this is a pub called Pijalnia Vodka and Pivo. So in this pub, it's like in the cheap pub category. It's one of the cheapest pubs in the whole of Poland. Like in England, we have a Wetherspoons in every single city. Here in Poland, they have a Pijalnia in every single city. You can get a vodka shot for just over £1 in Pijalnia, and you can get a pint of beer for about £2 or less in Pijalnia. You can get a whiskey and coke, for example, like Grant's whiskey for about £3. And you can get a vodka and coke for about £3 as well. So it's always busy every single night of the week in Pijalnia. Let me show you the sign. So you just look for that blue sign, Pijalnia Vodka and Pivo. Straight ahead in the center, you can see the Florian's Gate, which is also worth a look at as well, especially if you go down there in the daytime. And you can cross that, and you cross the road onto the Mariacki Square, Plac Mariacka, they call it in Polish. The Mariacki Square is lovely to look at, especially in the summertime. So this bar here is called Piana Wisnia, and this bar here is like Ukrainian with all different Ukrainian liqueur shots. They're sort of, it's a bit like wine, it's a bit like a cherry liqueur, but it's definitely worth tasting. One in Piana Wisnia. They've got one in Lviv, they've got one in Kiev. I've been to both of them. I've been to their one in Warsaw as well, and it's always got a nice atmosphere. Let me just show you through the door as well. So it's open till 12 at night. Let's see. Here it is. And you can buy the bottles, you can see on the left side, takeaway as well. Let's have a look. Okay, so you can buy a bottle for 80 zloty takeaway, so that's about £18. So it might be a nice gift for your family if you're going back to England. Hello, hey.
Hi guys.
Hi. How much is it for one?
Like 100 milliliters.
Oh yeah.
£2.
£2, yeah. For the small one, yeah.
Yep, 100 milliliters.
And that's the cold one, isn't it?
Yep, that's a cold one.
And how much for the hot one?
You like £3?
Yeah.
See all sizes.
Yeah, so you can get, it's 15 zloty for the small, isn't it? And it's, or you could get the large one for 44 zloty, which is about £9. So it is worth a try in this place. Is it from Ukraine?
Yeah.
This place? Yeah. I've been to Ukraine many times. I've been in Kiev and I've been in Lviv and stuff, so very nice, yeah. So it's called Piana Wisnia, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers, good night, bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you.
I just thought I'd show you this place because we haven't got these in England, you see. So you go straight ahead there. You've got all the fast food places. You can get kebabs there on the right side, the orange sign there. And further down on the right, you've got McDonald's. If you want late night food there, you've got McDonald's there on the right as well. So let's continue down Florianska. This is one of the best streets for a night out because there's so many different pubs on this street. This pub on the right is called Dobry Kumpel. It's a pub in a cellar, gets busier at weekends. It's very quiet during the week, really. But yeah, it's worth a pint in the Dobry Kumpel. They have some beer from Belgium on the tap, so you can buy a pint of beer for about 30 zloty, which is about £6 in the Dobry Kumpel. And a vodka is a similar price, about 30 or 35 zloty, £6 or £7 for a vodka and coke there in Dobry Kumpel. So it's a bit more expensive, but you go in this one, Pialnia Vodka and Pivo, and it's half the price or maybe 1/3 of the price you pay in there. So the cheapest pubs here in Krakow are Banja Luka, you've got Free Pub, you've got Vistula Old, you've got Gospoda Coco, that's a good one as well. You can just Google these guys, I'm giving you all the names. And they're the cheapest pubs that I'd say that you're going to find around this town. Left side, you've got the beer house and the hostel, so it's like a hostel and a pub. In there, it's not as cheap as you'd think. A pint of beer is about £4 in there, which is 20 zloty. They do some cheap lunch menus as well. So remember, guys, when you're walking around the bars, Monday to Friday in the daytime, there is a daytime menu at some of the restaurants called a Dania Dinar. If you ask for the daytime menu, it will be about 35 zloty. Or 40 zloty, maybe about £7 or £8, maybe a bit more, might be 50 zloty, £10, but you'll get a 3-course meal in the day with a starter, a main course and a dessert for a discounted price because it's in the daytime. So there's the Italian restaurant there on the right side. They have a terrace up above in the summer. That's a summer terrace above, and you can sit on deck chairs on that terrace and have a wine. It does Prosecco and wine, and they do lasagnas and pizzas and pastas and everything as well. There's a good pub here on the right side, a very cheap pub called Huki Muki. So if you go to Huki Muki, you can get a pint of beer for £2 for 10 zloty. You can get a big jug of beer as well for about £6, where you get lots of beer in it, and you get a beer called Kozel beer. Kozel beer is beer from the Czech Republic, so I do recommend that Huki Muki. If you go into the back room and you just go downstairs, there's a club underground, and it's free entry in the nightclub as well in Huki Muki. This is Marker Street here, you can just see there. And just across here where it says single, Shena single on the sign, that is actually a jazz club. Let me just show you the entrance. You can't see because it's underground. A lot of the bars here in Krakow are in caves under the ground. Some of them are up above. You need to know where you're going. You need to ask where you're going. Maybe watch my guided tours on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe for free at Travel with Col, and that's Col with a C-O-L, and you get all of my guided tours from Krakow. So let's continue, see what's going on. So you can see all the taxis are parked around the street here, coming up and down as well. They're all, can you see all the taxis there? They're parked on the junction at the end of Florianska Street. But what you can do, download an application called Uber or Bolt or Free Now. There's 3 different applications here, Bolt, Uber and Free Now, and you get a taxi for 1/3 of the price. Never get a street taxi here in Krakow. They are very, very expensive. They will overcharge you. Some tourists told me they took them down an unusual route, and basically they spent a lot more money than what they should have spent, because that was like with a street taxi there. So on the right side, you've got a traditional place there where you can buy hot wines and you can buy special local vodka as well. Staropolski it's called there. So it's 35 zloty, which is £7 for 4 vodka shots. Each shot is 20 centilitres in there. And they've got the hot wine with honey, and they've got the normal hot wine as well. It's quite quiet because it's very late at night tonight, so that's why it's a bit quieter. There's the Choice Club coming up on the left side, somewhere a bit further up here. That's a nightclub that's open till about 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning. So let's get out of the way here. I'll just get you a bit further on here and I'll show you some more bars and clubs. So here's the Choice Club here on the left side. That is another nightclub here. Lots of tourists go in there. It's open till late at night. It's underground as well, and you will be paying an entry fee to go in there. I don't know how much you'll pay. You might pay about 30 zloty, about £6 to go into the club. But I've had some good nights there in Choice Club as well. It's only open at weekends though. You can't go there to some of these clubs on a Monday, a Tuesday or Wednesday. You have to be going there at weekends to that club. There's another music club called Shine Club, and Shine Club is the best nightclub in Krakow for house music, and Shine Club is a proper super club. You've got another club called Prozac, which is really hardcore rave music, but it's you know, there's a lot of drugs in there and it can be a bit rough at times, but it's open all night until about 8 o'clock in the morning in Prozac Club. So if you want a really wild night, you might go in there. I'll just show you the street here. There's lots of hustlers and sharks in the street, and they might stop you and ask you to go into various clubs. Don't go in whatever you do, because you will spend a lot of money and you will be overcharged. They will try and take all your money and they'll do anything they can to get all of your money. There's a lot of scams that go on here in Krakow. Here on the left side, we've got a nightclub, a bar called Bania Luka. Bania Luka is so cheap. So let me just show you the sign of Bania Luka here. You're getting a beer for 9 Polish zloty, which is £2 for a Tiski beer. Tiski is the most popular beer in Poland. You've got the hot wine for 9 zloty, which is £2, so it's incredibly cheap for a hot wine. And you can get a whiskey coke for like 15 zloty, which is £3, so it's very good value for money in Bania Luka. There's 3 different Bania Luka pubs here in Krakow. You've got one in Plac Szczepański as well. Let me show you inside. And you've got another Bania Luka on Szewska Street. That's a really busy one. There's loads of different Bania Lukas about. Hear the loud music on the left side. That's coming from the Bulldog pub. That's where all the British drink in there. Pretty much every customer in there is British or Irish. A lot of the tourists go in there to party, and the staff, they know how to deal with tourists there as well. So in the centre of the square now, you can see the cloth hall. The cloth hall is from the 14th century, and that's where you can go to in the daytime, and there's a market in there. You can buy all kinds of handmade and unusual items there in the cloth hall. It's one of the most beautiful buildings in the whole of Europe, the cloth hall, and it's well worth a look. So the whole main square is surrounded by bars and restaurants. You can see them just here, but you'll pay a lot more money to drink in these bars because you're getting the view of the main market square. So if you drink in the square, you'll pay a lot more money than the bars that are off the square. You could go to an area called the Jewish area, which is very artistic, for example, and there's lots of unusual cafes and bars, and lots of the locals drink in the Jewish area. They call it Kazimierz. That's a big nightlife zone for Friday and Saturday nights, full of pubs. Not so many nightclubs, just 1 or 2 nightclubs there, but it's just full of pubs in the Jewish area of town. So give it a try in Kazimierz one night as well, guys, and you might have a good night down there. So guys, thank you very much for watching my guided tour today, and for more of my guided tours from Krakow, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Travel with Col, and that's Col with a C-O-L. Cheers guys, have a good night, thank you very much, bye bye.